Zibby with you this morning.
Tega's not there.
Lots to talk about in the world of sports. Tega, are you pulling up? Okay, because
No, I'm
I
not
would have been
around.
alarmed.
I'm protesting.
Tega is on strike.
Tega is
A
on
five
strike.
second strike.
Good morning,
NLC.
everybody. How are you doing? I'm not on strike from you guys. I'm just not talking to Zibby. Zibby, where's my breakfast? All right, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. It was really fantastic. Chelsea won. Should I call it trophy or cup? They won something, Sha. Be happy now. Why are you proud? It's not, you couldn't win anything last season. You managed to win one now. You will not clap for yourself. All right, so that happened over the weekend. What else happened over the weekend? F1 happened over the weekend. Iga Swiatek and Sasha Zverev, they both won trophies in titles in their various countries in tennis. Sasha Zverev also, again, he has now another domestic violence case. You have to remember that this guy had a domestic violence case and he was cleared of all charges before. Now this is a different woman,
Oh,
but the same
wow.
charges. He may be cleared of this one too, but I'm telling you at this point in time, if it quacks like a duck, it is probably that's the where we end it. All right, so we'll be talking about all of that, and then we'll be talking about the Super Falcons of Nigeria.
Yay.
They play today at 11 a.m. Take that early break. Tell your boss Tega said you should do it. They'll be playing against Ireland to consolidate their place in the round of 16. So let's see how that works for them. We're talking about all of that and more in the locker room. But before we do that, Zibi, how can everybody be part of this locker room so we can celebrate with you?
It- Tega, you're so shady. We're streaming live on YouTube, so just search for Smooth 981 FM Lagos. You can tweet at Smooth 981. Don't forget the hashtag is Locker Room 981. And of course, via WhatsApp 0809840981.
We may even open the phone lines because Super Falcons are playing and then
Dress Trash Egypt 83-65 book quarter underappreciated. Barcelona 3, Real Madrid nil. Barca continue US tour by beating El Clasico rivals. Colombia strike late to upset Germany in Sydney stunner. Blues become first Premier League Summer Series winners. Dortmund down sloppy Man United in Vegas friendly. And Canada urged to be brave in do or die Australia clash at the World Cup.
all right, and Tayo is telling us about his own UFC. We don't watch blood sports. Okay, but we talk about it. No, I'm serious. Again, talking about blood. There's no blood sports. Stop talking like you are watching Van Damme. But
That's a Van Damme movie, isn't it?
yeah, that was a. I think it was one of his movies. Anyway, but talking about those sports, I still today,
Full contact.
till today, if I just see Habib on TV, he doesn't need to come. That befalls me. That's how much I'm afraid of all these UFC people. All right, so but let's start with the very first story: the Tigresses of Nigeria, what they're doing in Rwanda.
All right, now the champions, the Tigers, are through to the quarterfinals of the 2023 FIBA Women's AfroBasket Tournament in Kigali. Now, this after recording their second consecutive victory with a comprehensive 83-65 win over Egypt yesterday.
All right, so huge one. So they changed the team. You know, they threw out the baby with the bathwater, brought in the new
Out
team.
with the old.
Out with the old, in with the new. The new is still cooking. Everything is stewing around the new. So it hasn't even been a close one. None of the games have been close. They all start at the same point, but it's almost like flash. Nigeria just breezes ahead of the competition. I think we play. We don't know who our next opponent is yet because that those teams have not played yet. But we play on Wednesday, the quarterfinal on Wednesday, and I still think they were going to breeze past them. It's been such an amazing tournament for the girls, and it's a worry to me. You see, no preparation, nothing. Nigerians will just go ahead and thrive. Fuel 564 people are thriving. Food is costly. I entered the supermarket the other day. I said to myself, Tika, do not look at prices. Just pick what you want. I still looked at prices and
Wow.
I'm still hurt. I'm just saying, somehow Nigerian spirit, we just thrive. And these girls are really doing the work on the court. Emi Okoronko, I think she didn't in according to in her opinion, despite the fact that the Tigresses won their first game, she felt like she didn't do her best. She didn't play her best. Then she decided that against Egypt, they will hear me. And so she came on court that day and she kind of blasted everybody off court. So it's even these girls pushing themselves,
Mm.
setting personal, goals for themselves through the games and just winning. And that's just the beauty to see that in spite of the fact that the team won and nobody was really pointing fingers as who was doing well and who wasn't, the players were looking at themselves and looking at their scorecards and saying, you know what, we can be better here and we can be better there. So it's a great one to see. Can we do the four-peat? I think so. Senegal is a team in this tournament that I thought would be scary. They've lost two games on the bounce. So
Oh.
yeah, Uganda beat Senegal. I was like, okay, that's an upset. That's a shock. Then they lost Somalia. I was like, okay, this is a habit. There's nothing to that. Meanwhile, the Tigresses with all their trouble and all their drama, they're sailing through smoothly. So wait to see them. We'll watch them again on Wednesday. That's when the quarterfinal will be, and we'll see how well they fare again.
All right, let us know what your thoughts are. 0809 981. Nigeria were rather underestimated and underappreciated leading into the Women's World Cup, but they've proven their critics wrong. And this is according to Randy Waldrum. Now, he says, we have shown that we are a better team than number 40 in the world. It's going to be a very difficult game. People may think I'm crazy for saying this, but I think it could be our hardest match. Ireland have been a bit unlucky in the first two matches and could have got a result.
Yeah, I would say that Ireland were quite unlucky, and they could have gotten a result, but they didn't, and there's a reason why. There's something that experience does to teams. But for the match today at 11 a.m., I do agree. Ireland have nothing to lose. Have you ever fought against somebody that has nothing to lose? You want to go to the office, you have an interview, probably have a meeting with the MD, and then you are wearing white shirt, and then somebody with nothing to lose just grabs you by that white shirt. It's all over.
Over.
And so that's where Ireland are. They're in that position right now. They're out of the World Cup already. So they are not protecting themselves from injuries. They can injure now. But they're just playing for pride at this point in time. They're just trying to show the world that look, we didn't come to the World Cup to make up the numbers. So they're going to put their all in. Even the coach said it, the players have said it. They've cried all the tears, but they just want to make a mark before they leave. So it's a really tricky tie for the Super Falcons. And so I'm hoping that, as Randy said this, the team would be ready to deliver. Now the Super Falcons themselves, they are in high spirit. They also understand the importance. It doesn't make any sense to win against Australia and then capitulate against Ireland. Then what was the point? They know that they need at least a point to go through the next round. They're not going for a point. They're trying to go for a win, so that they can top the group and then they meet whoever is on the second team in the next group, and
Mm.
that's what their focus is. So I think the Super Falcons, if you listen to the players, they're just ready to go. They're focused, and it's a great one. So we'll wait to see how the Super Falcons set up in this group. When the news first came out, I thought Ireland was guaranteed 3 points. But the way the group has turned out, uh, I'm more afraid of the Irish. Yeah, they have, like I said, nothing to lose, so they
Mm.
will come out of the block swinging. So I know that the Super Falcons have the talent, they have the confidence and the boldness to take on Ireland and get the result. I just hope that on the day they're not jittery and they don't lose themselves, because sometimes you're a good team, but you're having a bad day.
That is true.
Yeah, so that's that.
Okay, on to Formula One. Championship leader Max Verstappen rods with crushing eighth win in a row, one shot of an all-time record. In a Red Bull 1-2 with Sergio Perez at the Belgian Grand Prix on Sunday.
Yeah, so I'm tired of talking of F1 because you know who's going to win. It's another Red Bull car. And not just any Red Bull car, it's the preferred one in the Red Bull car. Like I said, Sergio Perez was doing fine until he said, I want to compete with Verstappen for the title. All of a sudden, everything that could happen happened. Sometimes he'd have mechanical fault, sometimes he'd be hit, sometimes his car would just not. He There was always one problem of the other. But this weekend was kind of good for Sergio Perez, because he qualified not top of the grid. He qualified third. Max Verstappen actually won pole in qualifying, but because of a gearbox change, he took a sixth place penalty. um, on the grid, and so he dropped back. He started in sixth. So Sergio Perez started at the front with Charles Leclerc, but he was always going to breeze past Leclerc because you know that the Red Bull cars are the fastest on the grid. And from the get go, he just took out Charles Leclerc and he kept going. But somehow, no matter how far away he pulled from Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen was just closing the gap on everybody else. Came from sixth, took out everybody, including Lewis Hamilton. I think Charles Leclerc was next, and by the time he was on the back of Sergio Perez, of course, he just knew that at some point he was going to overtake him. The question was it going to be a radio message that say, Perez, Verstappen is faster than you. You understand? I thought that was what was going to happen, but there was no need for that because Verstappen was clearly faster. And by the time he overtook Sergio Perez, he was able to build like a 4 point gap before I could blink. So it was a tough one. But Max Verstappen has set his world record. I've never seen this dominance from Red Bull. Sorry, from any team except when Sebastian Vettel was in Red Bull. Because when Sebastian Vettel was winning his 4 titles with Red Bull, they were this dominant. Nobody could touch Sebastian Vettel. Nobody could catch him. And now they're dominating again. Nobody can catch Max Verstappen. So I think it will take another engine change. Let's see, to stop this dominance. But as it is right now, Red Bull are the team to beat, and there is no team so far on that grid that's touching them. In fact, Red Bull is competing for the title, the Drivers' Championship, and the Constructors' Championship. The rest of the people are competing for position. Nothing is happening there. Nothing.
All right, and let's go on to the next conversation topic. Barcelona continued their preseason tour of the USA with a 3-0 win over Real Madrid in Arlington, Texas.
So let me put a riddle out. So Barcelona beat Real Madrid by 3-0. Arsenal beat Barcelona. Does it mean that Arsenal can beat Barcelona or Real Madrid? I'm just joking. No, it's not possible. But everybody stayed up for the El Clasico. I said it. Japan is going to kill Spain. It's already 2-0, Abby. All right.
28 minutes in.
Everybody set up for the El Clasico because we're waiting. This was a good one to watch. But it seems Xavi Hernandez has Carlo Ancelotti's number with this El Clasico. I know it's just a preseason game. I know Real Madrid hit the post several times. I know they created their own chances. But the ball that went into the back of the net all came from Barcelona's side. Albeit, I'm hearing that Ousmane Dembele, who was one of the scorers for Barcelona on the day, has had a verbal agreement with PSG, so he may be moving to PSG. That's according to transfer rumors today. But Barcelona, it seems Xavi Hernandez has Carlo Ancelotti's number because it didn't matter what Barcelona was hitting Real Madrid's face, and Real Madrid again preseason they refused to tell Caicedo, so they went for the person that they were going to go for. And the second message here is Nigeria is still underestimated at the Women's World Cup. We should give away points like Arsenal to the. I don't know what this means. I don't know what this means. So Larry from the abroad says, such is Max's dominance that he started sixth and finished 22 seconds ahead of Checo, that's Perez, in the same car. Ridiculous. When Seb was winning, Shebi he was starting on pole and no one was catching him. But this level of dominance is crazy. He started from various positions and still ends up winning. To now cheekily ask for another pit stop again. Yeah, but Seb was winning pole because nobody could catch him on Saturday. Some people still catch Max Verstappen out on other days, but he'll still come back and win it during the race. All right, let's take that quick break. When we come back, we'll be talking about who else?
There is so much to talk about. Tega. So much. Can't even narrow it down to one person.
All right, so we'll talk about Manchester United. Yes, they lost to Dortmund. We'll probably touch on Manchester City if we have the time. But we'll talk about all of that after the break.
Mathematics.
Yes, so
convenience.
How is this? Is it head or heavy?
No, it's not actually. Like, it's really light. Like it's really, really light.
Because that's a lot of hair. Because
It's actually not like, and the girl that told me to get four. So I sent her money and she got four. When it came out, like, this is 30 inches. Why did I need four?
yeah.
But it's actually really light, like really light, no pain at all.
No, I'm not talking about pain. I'm just talking about the weight. Because everyone wanted to do it. They said I got only two.
Oh, did you? Was two enough?
For
Your
me,
head is small.
no, for me because it wasn't full like this.
Oh, okay.
Which is why I didn't want to make it full because I thought it was going to be
Okay, too much.
and it was going to be heavy.
Like it's so light, like it's crazy. It looks intense, but it's so light. Like I even left it down. It was just this morning. I decided to just when I wanted to have a shower, like, let me just do that, not busy, and then I just left.
Instantly, or the 5,000 naira
God.
MiFi and the
It's a tough one.
7,500 naira MiFi that gives you 5 gigabytes
Japan!
and 10 gigabytes instantly.
Teach those
Only to the
Espania
nearest
babes
Airtel
what
shop
soccer
or
is,
visit
man.
They're a better team. It's not even a
It's
not even a question.
Like, and I like the game. It looks easy. Like it doesn't seem like they're
They're just
exerting
giving. They're toying
themselves.
with them. They're like, let's give them the ball to play. We want to score. We'll collect and go and score. That's what they're doing.
Wow.
Japan is a better team.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying the excitement that this female football is generating. How come Nigeria and Falcons are so good in Africa, but internationally they are not so great?
Is probably is part of what my problem is with the teams. You see how we don't prepare and then we go to this tournament. We blitz through every African team.
All right. No, no, no. This is the locker room on Smooth 98.1 Talking Sports. It's Tega and Zibby with you. We're streaming live, so just search for Smooth 91 FM Lagos on
right.
YouTube. You can also tweet at Smooth 981 or send us a message via WhatsApp in 0809 440 981. Ibukun, good morning to you.
Yeah, he says, Tega, I like this your maths. So has Manchester United beat Arsenal? So does it mean Manchester United can beat Barcelona and Real Madrid? It's true, this math is not mathing. Even me, a United fan, I can't dream of that. All right, we're expecting your messages on
0809 440 981.
All right, we'll soon be opening the phone lines, but first of all, let's talk about what are we talking about?
Barca?
Colombia.
All right. Manuela Venegas headed a stoppage time winner to give Colombia a 2-1 upset victory over Germany just when the twice World Cup champions thought they had saved a point in a rather thrilling Women's World Cup clash at Sydney yesterday.
Yeah, I think it was crazy. So first half of this particular match, Germany found out that Colombia was being tough. Colombia was retrieving the ball in less than a minute. They lose the ball, they retrieve it. They left the possession to Germany, but they stopped them from doing many things. So I would think that, okay, when they go into the locker room, the one thing the Germans will decide to do is, you know what, we're not going to try to pull them out because they're not moving from their position. We're just going to try to play around that. And of course, you had an Alexander Pop on the pitch and she was winning everything in the air. So go that route. That's what I expected that, Germany would do in second half. Come the second half, at least in the first half, Germany was playing. They were just not making enough headway. Come the second half, Colombia rushed Germany like rice. It was horrible. It was like they went into the locker room. They're like, okay, we've done half time. Now we're going to show them who we really are. And so for Germany to even get an equalizer in that game, for me, it was really against its run of events because Colombia was the one that played the better football all of second half. And so when they got their winner in injury time, 1 minute to the end of the match in injury time, it was a perfect performance or a perfect result for the performance they had put on all evening. So amazing run by the Colombians, amazing football by the Colombians. For the Germans, they're going to sit back with this loss and think about their lives. The thing about Germany and USA, though, when I see them struggle in the group stage, is that they get worse down the line. So I always hope that, if you're playing against the German team and the US team, allow them to have it easy till they get to maybe the quarterfinal or the semifinal, then let the tough match come. But if they have a tough match early, they're not prepared for war. That just makes them a harder team to beat. But that result from Colombia against Germany has thrown that group into a tricky state because Colombia is now on 6 points, and ideally they would qualify. However, Morocco are on 3 points, and Morocco face Colombia next. Now, should Morocco defeat Colombia? Sorry, Morocco has to defeat Colombia by 5 goals because of the goal difference. If Morocco defeats Colombia by 5 goals, Morocco goes ahead.
Mm.
If Germany defeats Panama, which we expect them to defeat Panama, they'll still be on 6 points. So there'll be 3 teams on 6 points, and it will now be down to goal difference. So they can, in as much as nobody thinks Morocco can score 5 goals against Colombia, you still can't officially declare that they are through to the next round. Because if Morocco should defeat Colombia, then all of them are on 6 points, and we have to wait till the last day. So wait to see how that pans out. But it's very tricky now that Germany has lost. And I know that they're going to punish Panama, unfortunately. But they are now going to be aware that they can't have it easy.
All right. Chelsea were crowned winners of the inaugural Premier League Summer Series with a 2-0 victory over Fulham as Christopher Nkunku scored again.
All right. Zibby's people, Zibby, congratulations once again. But you have to understand the spirits are high, and so many people are raving right now about this Nkunku guy. Oh my goodness, he's such a great buy. But the summer series involved Premier League teams that Chelsea struggled against during the last season. So to get results in this summer series at least gives them an idea that they are progressing. I'm not saying that because they've won this summer series, they're going to win the Champions League. No, they didn't even qualify. But I'm just saying that they look a lot better than where they finished off last season. You know, played against Brighton, played against Newcastle. Who they defeated? They played against Fulham. Those were teams that last season they struggled against, and so to get that result from that summer series, it means that they've progressed. However, the question I want to ask Chelsea fans and people that watch this Chelsea team, the Chelsea team that you saw yesterday, how far do you think, or how high up do you think they can finish in the Premier League? With Pochettino, and we decide as it is, how high up do you think they can finish? The numbers to call are
0144899981.
again
0144899981.
All right, so we'll be taking those phone calls. But first, let's take this message from Tayo. Tayo says,
Germany about to crash out is surprising. I'm waiting for USA to join them. Their pride is too much.
No, Germany, Germany will not crash out. I'm sure they'll beat Panama. Mohammed says, Tega, nobody has monopoly of the national team. Open tryouts were for everyone interested. They had 2 in Nigeria and 1 in the US. We discovered new talent and hungry players and are still young, which is according to the spokesman of the NBF. You are entitled to your allowance, but not to represent Nigeria. And you have not paid them their allowance before now, so why are you still fighting for them? All right. So wait on those messages. So the Chelsea team that you saw yesterday, how high up do you think they can finish? Or do you still think they'll have the struggles that they did last season? This message comes in and says, Chelsea about to look like Tottenham reign under Pochettino is giving me 4th place vibes. So you've already seen Chelsea in Champions League. All right, so that's one return that somebody says Chelsea will be in Champions League. Let's hear from you. LK Aderba on YouTube says,
Tega just decided to be shady this morning. First Chelsea, then Formula One, then Madrid. Arsenal fans thought they were safe, but straight bullet hit them. 11 a.m. I'll have my touch of green on my office outfit, and we'll definitely watch our ladies.
And he says, and he wraps up this by saying, Chelsea still needs a lethal striker, a solid defensive midfielder. We haven't replaced Kante yet. If we do, we can make top 6. Okay, so El Cadorba says top 6. Tayo says
top 4.
Top 4. All right, so we wait for those messages and the phone calls. How high up do you think this Chelsea side can finish? Cosi Calls comes in to say,
Chelsea don't have European football, which is kind of an advantage to the team building, I guess. So it's a top 4 finish.
All right. See, top 4 finish for Chelsea. Pochettino will be delivering on his first season. Yes, it's 3-0. Well,
Japan.
so while we're waiting on those phone calls and those messages, let's just read some more stories because we still have stories to run through.
All right, Borussia Dortmund punished Manchester United's defense lapses on Sunday as they wrapped up their North American tour with a 3-2 defeat in the Bundesliga side to the Bundesliga side in Las Vegas.
And this is what I said about Manchester United. It's a basket of mixed fruits. You know, 1 minute they'll give you an excellent result. You'll be like, Eric Ten Hag is Einstein. The next minute you see this performance, you're just like, what can I do? And like I said before, the problem turns out the problem may not have been David De Gea because they still consider 3 goals, and it's Onana.
Well, he's still trying to find his way.
You don't. I've said it before. You don't learn at the top. At the top, you deliver. You learn at the bottom. All right. So it's a tough one. You come, and because of the manner in which David De Gea was sacrificed. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have been changed, but because of the way they made it look like he was the problem and that Onana was the redeemer. You know, some people live in extremes. There's no shades of grey where they are. So he has to deliver, and Eric Ten Hag has to deliver. In fact, if it's more on Eric Ten Hag than on Onana right now, because Eric Ten Hag is the one that probably was pushing for a particular signing. So the question will be, okay, so maybe it is not them, maybe you are the problem. But it was defensive lapses that got them this. Because if they had been a little tighter defensively, Dortmund would have gotten those 3 goals. All right, let's take some messages here. Mide says, good morning, Tega. I think Chelsea will finish 6th. I hope our women win and top that group. Mide from Akapa. All right, Mide, just be watching from 11 a.m. And Tayo says, I can't wait for Nana to start playing football for Manchester United instead of keeping. Imagine him complaining about Maguire. He should continue. I'm waiting for him. Ibuku said, Tega, Shebi, I told you that we had issues in defense. We were lucky against Arsenal. All right. So David De Gea was not the problem. Is that what people are saying? Because I want to give him a call and just talk to him. All right, that's all we can take on today's locker room. Thank you for your messages on YouTube, on WhatsApp. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for your contribution. We'll do this again on Wednesday, and hopefully by then the Super Falcons would have qualified and topped the group. All right, Zibby.
Indeed, that's it for the locker room. Stay with us. Lagos Talk starts in just 15 minutes from 9 o'clock.
Let's go down to